lesson, we'll be talking about how we can use something called the first principle to find the derivative of a function. Suppose we have given y is equal to x squared. How will we find the derivative of this function? Well, we're going to use the power rule. Hence, I'll say, okay, dy over dx will be equal to, I take the 2, move it to the front, and subtract 1 from 2, and my answer is 2x. Now, we can use something called the first principle to find the derivative of a function. So now, the derivative of function y prime is the same as dy over dx, and the same as the limit as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. So now this part which you see here is what we call the first principles. So it's equivalent to finding the derivative of function. So now we're going to use this formula to calculate the derivative of function. Suppose we are given the expression f of x is equal to x squared. Now, what are we going to do in this case? Well, we're going to say that f prime, we can also write the derivative in the form x prime. X prime will be equal to, rewrite the formula as the limit as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. Now, when we mean f of x plus h, it means we're going to replace x with x plus h. Now, here's our function, f of x. So if f of x is equal to x squared, then f of x plus h is equal to x plus h squared. But something important, you mustn't leave this thing, the limit, as h approaches 0. You must write this throughout the whole expression. And the answer will be x plus h squared minus f of x, which is x squared. And then we divide by h. Now, what I'm going to do here, I have to FOIL this bracket. Well, I'm going to write the limit as h approaches 0. X squared will be x squared. X times x will be x squared. Now, if you FOIL this thing, you're going to have x plus h into x plus h. X multiplied by x will be x squared. X times h will be xh. And another xh will be 2xh. And then plus h squared. Now, let's take that and replace it in this expression. So it's x squared plus 2xh plus h squared minus x squared. And that's everything divided by h. Now, I'm going to cancel the x squared and the x. So this one will cancel this one. And all I'm left with is 2xh plus h squared. So I still write the limit as h approaches 0. Now, take out h as a common factor. I'm going to be left with 2x plus h. And then I divide by h. Now, when I'm on this part, I can divide this one by this one. The answer will be the limit as h approaches 0 of 2x plus h. Now, after we have cancelled this h in the denominator, I can now replace the h with 0 because this expression says the limit as h approaches 0. So any item which contains h, I'm going to assign 0 to it. So this will be equal to 2x plus 0. And the answer will be 2x. So now on this step, whereby you replace the value of h with 0, you drop the limit sign. And this is the same answer which we have found by using the derivative. And here it is. Okay, so another way of determining the derivative of a function is by calculating the limit of function as h approaches 0. Let's go over a different example. Let's say we are now given y is equal to x squared plus 1. How will I determine the derivative of this? Or let me call this f of x. F of x equal to x squared plus 1. Now to find the derivative of f prime using the rules of differentiation, I'm going to have 2x. The derivative of 1 will become 0, so it's 2x plus 0, which is simply 2x. Now, what if I want to use a limit to find the derivative of this function? Well, I'll say f prime x is given by the limit as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. Now let's see. Whenever you see x in the expression in the given equation, replace it with x plus h. So I'm going to have x plus h squared plus 1, and I'll subtract by x squared plus 1. That is my f of x. And all the terms will be divided by h. Now let's FOIL this bracket. I'm going to have x squared plus 2xh plus h squared, and then subtract x squared, and then minus 1. I distribute this negative sign to all the terms inside this bracket. And if you don't understand how I might have gotten this expansion, you can use the FOIL method. It is x plus h into x plus h. Now if we say x times x, you get x squared. You say x plus h, you get xh. Another x plus h is xh, and h times h is h squared. Now these two adds up to 2xh, which is the middle term which we have over here. Now I'm going to subtract like terms. Okay, I forgot this one. We must have this one over here, so I'm going to say plus 1. Now what I'm going to observe is that this x squared will cancel the negative x squared. The negative 1 will cancel the 1. And all this is divided by h. Okay, so just a mistake which I did here. I must not drop the limit sign as h approaches 0. This thing is very important. You must have it. So this is the limit as h approaches 0. Okay, now take out h as a common fact. So this will be the limit as h approaches 0 of h multiplied by 2x plus h, and then I divide by h. Now this one will cancel this one, and now I can replace the terms which are here with the terms h with 0, because I no longer have it in the denominator. So the answer will be 2x plus 0. And as you can check, the same answer will obtain over here. The reason why we only include the h at the end is because here we've got the h in the denominator. And if we replace h with 0, we're going to have division by 0, which is undefined. So, but when you're already in set and you've cancelled the h in the denominator, you are free to replace all the terms in the expression with 0. Thank you for watching.